It's another ordinary day. Moses is doing what he's done for the last 40 years, herding sheep in the wilderness. There is nothing exceptional, just a man, a stick, and some woolly animals. And then a bush catches fire but doesn't burn up, and with it, everything changes. Now, pause for a second. Isn't that how God works? Not with trumpets and fireworks, but in the middle of your Tuesday afternoon laundry or your commute or in the ache of an unresolved prayer. Moses wasn't looking for God. He was looking for a lost sheep. But the burning bush found him. And what makes this passage extraordinary isn't just the miracle of the bush. It's what God says next. I have seen the misery of my people. I have come down to rescue them. Wonderful. Moses might have smiled at the divine initiative. And then God drops the punchline. So now you go. I am sending you. You can almost hear Moses choke. Excuse me? You are the Almighty. You said you came down to rescue them. But now you are outsourcing the job to a fugitive shepherd with a speech impediment. It's like telling a kid, I have decided we need world peace, peace between Russia and Ukraine and peace in the Middle East. So you will start by talking to the United Nations tomorrow. And that's precisely the divine pattern. God doesn't act alone. He invites, he involves, he interrupts our wilderness routines and says, you are it. That's the holy ground. Not because it's spectacular, but because heaven has chosen to intersect with earth right there. Let me tell you a story I read years ago. In a remote village in India, in the state of Andhra Pradesh, a quiet young woman named Pushpa. She taught in a rural school. She had no degrees in leadership, no political voice, and not much money. She noticed something. Many of her students were walking miles, most of them barefoot, just to come to the school. Many others dropped out simply because they had no notebooks or couldn't afford uniforms and meals. She could have just taught and gone home. But one day she felt something stir, a call she couldn't explain. She started asking neighbors for used shoes. She cooked extra rice in the morning to feed another few hungry students. She stitched uniforms at night under candlelight. And soon others noticed. The school grew, donations came, and today that village school has over 1,000 children, a feeding program, and scholarships for girls who would have otherwise married off at a young age. The teacher's eyes never saw a bush burning, but her heart did, with compassion and courage. I'm sure we hear such inspirational stories from around the world, and we have one such, our next door, in my brother's keeper. Notice this, God doesn't ask for Moses for his ability. He asks for availability. And then when Moses resists, who am I to go to Pharaoh? God doesn't answer with a pep talk. No, he doesn't say, Moses, you are amazing. No. Jesus simply says, God simply says, I will be with you. It's not about who Moses is. It's about who God is and the fact that he walks with those he calls. Some of us may feel too old, too wounded, too ordinary, or too messed up for God to use. But remember, Moses was 80. He had failed in Egypt, failed in Midian, and probably thought he would live and die a forgotten shepherd. But God sees a burning possibility where we see a barren desert. So maybe today, your bush isn't burning, but your heart is stirring. Pay attention. Take off your sandals. That diagnosis, that detour, that conversation you have been dreading, or the conversion you have been praying for, maybe that is your holy ground. And if you hear a whisper that sounds crazy, go, I am sending you. Don't panic. Just remember, God never sends someone where he won't go himself. Sometimes the ground becomes holy not because God shows up with fire, but because we finally stop long enough to listen.